Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome back to the underground lair where we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. We also create comic books as part of the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge, where you spend 30 minutes a day or more every day working on your own personal comic book project. My personal comic book project is this one right here. Oops. All right. This is issue 1 of Young and the Dead. There are 3 issues available at Serkworks.com. It's a kids versus zombie story. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. And this is what I've been working on. I'm working on issue 4 right now. So yeah, that's the challenge. Yeah, you do that for 100 days. You blog about it. You talk about it. You let people know, and that's what we're doing. That's what we are definitely in the home stretch of right now. Let's see where we are in the challenge. We've got the oversized pad of paper, we got the big fat Sharpie, and we're going to do it the same way we've been doing it since day 1, and we're going to jot this down. So it's day 92, just to document that, just so we know where we are. We're going to put that aside now. Now that we're all up to speed, what are we going to talk about today? Well, for a while I was doing a lot of book recommendations, and I haven't done one of those in a while. So there is a book or a series of books that I kind of want to recommend, but in some ways I don't want to recommend, because it's almost, how do I put this? I think people can use this book series the wrong way, or it could be very helpful, or it could harm your artwork if you're not ready for this stuff. What is he talking about? Yeah, okay, so I want to talk about some life drawing books, particularly one of my favorite authors, illustrators on the subject, Burn Hogarth, his dynamic series. These are a few of his books here. He's got Drawing Dynamic Hands. Let's see, Wrinkles and Drapery. This one is great. I love that one. Dynamic Light and Shade, and Dynamic Figure Drawing. He also has like drawing the human head and things like that. And the reason why I'm a little hesitant to recommend these is because I think before you start doing this, before you start looking into Hogarth stuff, I think you really want to learn gestures and really loose drawing, because I think he's really good, and he is really good at like that's why it's called dynamic, because it's all the different poses and things like that. But I've seen a lot of people, they'll look at some of his anatomy books, or anatomy books in general, it's not just Hogarth, but and before getting that gesture down, they'll start working in all the muscles and things, and your characters are going to look like super stiff. So you want to get those action lines going, and that's why, I mean, I don't know, I don't do a lot of superhero stuff with big muscular guys and gals. Most of my stuff deals with kids, and I like to get a lot of fluid action and stuff, and they're, you know, my kids are, you know, kind of lanky, got longer arms, and it's just, I don't know, it seems like I like to do these real fluid drawings, and the more you kind of add that detail, the stiffer it can look. So you got to be real careful with that. Another life drawing author that I would definitely recommend is George Bridgman. His stuff is a little, you know, looser and everything. But again, back to Hogarth. As long as you got the gestures down and things, his anatomy is just amazing. And again, especially because there's things that a lot of people don't pay attention to. People are always interested, or they focus a lot on drawing like the character, or like with superheroes, they've all got these tight costumes and everything. But everyday people wear kind of loose clothing and stuff like that, and it's really important to figure out how things drape across the body, and pay attention to that kind of stuff too. So these are some books, and also this. Now I don't do a lot of heavy blacks and shading and things in my comic. It is a black and white book, but when you look at stuff like this, look at the shading and everything on this. But it's, you know, look at that. You know, some really great material to look at. Anyway, so those are my pseudo sort of recommendations. Be cautious when you're delving into this stuff. You definitely don't want your characters to look too stiff. But these, all the same, these are great books, and super awesome author and artist. Can't really speak to the guy's personality from things that I've heard, and I took life drawing under somebody who studied under him, and I think a little bit may have rubbed off over on my life drawing. He's a little curmudgeon-y, and I've heard some stories about this guy, but you know, sometimes you got to look at the work and not the person. So anyway, check these books out, but or you know, cautiously check these books out. All right, so that's my book recommendation for today, but we're gonna go to the paralleloscope and we're gonna see what's going on with my book, Young and the Dead, and how that's coming along. Let's check it out. There's another figure drawing book that it comes highly recommended. I don't have it, so I don't want to really give a review on it, but I've heard so many good things about it, and I need to just get a copy and kind of go through it. But it's the Michael Hampton book. It's Michael Hampton, figure drawing and figure drawing, design and invention. Sorry, design and invention. And I've seen pages from it and everything, and it kind of breaks up all the muscles down into like different colors and things like that, and it does a really good job from what I see or what I've heard of explaining how anatomy works and everything. So that is a book that I definitely want to get, and when I get it and kind of look over it, I'll probably do like a recommend. But so many people have recommended it already. Maybe you've heard of it. If you hadn't, I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description along with some of the other books that I mentioned. But anyway, yeah, all this stuff comes in handy. I mean, really, life and just looking at life and drawing from life too as well. I've been going. I went to a couple life drawings sessions, like a drink and draw thing, and I've showed them on the channel or on this vlog before. And I thought this week there was going to be another one, but I guess it's not until next week. So I don't know if I have time to put that in. If I'll be done with the 100 days by the time that goes up, before I get that footage and everything. But if I do another one, I want to try to maybe do like more caricature-esque look when I'm at the figure when I'm doing it, just for fun, and see, like I was thinking about bringing my markers and stuff like that, and just to switch it up a little bit, because I started to do that last time. I started to draw the figures straight, which is always good to do, the way they look, but then I decided, well, kind of, add my own spin to it and everything. So, but it is definitely good to, if you can, get out and draw from models and things like that, as well as, pictures off the internet or in books or whatever. But it's so important when it comes to, obviously, comic book making, because most comics have characters in them. So okay, I know you guys love this stuff. So here we are in the backyard again, another update. As you can see, the grass is starting to come in. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if it's going to fill in enough by the time this 100 days is over, because we are getting close to that time right now. But I am happy that it is finally coming in. But I did kind of want to show you it finished and looking good and everything. But I've made some progress, and that is good. But anyway, but the other thing I wanted to talk about. So. The whole thing, and the reason why I'm showing you this, as far as just to look into my daily, what I do besides the comic book. So, I'm working on the comic book, and then I've got, the day job, and I've got, my other personal projects that I'm working on. But I always try to pick one project, something like a home project, to work on simultaneously with this other stuff. And I usually try to pick one thing, finish that, and move on to the next, aside from like cleaning and stuff like that. But I don't know if you've ever noticed, see that little house over there? That's a playhouse I built for my daughter, and it is in disarray. It is like falling apart, and I think I gotta do some renovations to that, but I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. So the weather has not been kind. It used to have a front door, and you can see, basically the heat and the rain and stuff like that. So I need to build a new door, or I might just keep the door open. The door's not that important, but these are like the shingles for the roof, and they're all styrofoam, and I hard coated them and everything, which I thought would help keep the weather out, but somehow it's see-through and these pieces are falling off and everything. But I'm going to show you the house now, and you can see what I'm going to need to do this thing. All right, we'll go around back, because so here's, you know, kind of the ceiling. You can see these are where those pieces fell off here. I got to fix that. They fell, all these pieces fell. This is the only roof piece that's still kind of hanging in there. But if we go in the back here, I don't know if you can see this, there is a huge hole right here. And yeah, so this whole piece fell off. So I think I can salvage this, but I'm going to need to replace the wood here, because, and I'm gonna have to get some kind of waterproof wood or something like that, because the foam, which is waterproof itself, and the hard coating did not stop the rain from getting in here. So that I gotta fix. And the top part seems to be okay, which I'm thinking it came in here with this crack, and that's what the water collected in here. But let's go inside and I'll show you that. All right, entering in here. Oh, so you can see there's the hole right here in the ceiling. But yeah, so most of this stuff is all, you know, foam and hard coated. I got some wood. I need to touch this up too. Some of it chipped off. I tried to put some coating on here, but I never went back and repainted it. This here is a little chimney, fireplace. Move around. I can't get back far enough to give you a good idea, but you can see how dirty it is. And the floor needs to be replaced, because you can't tell, but it's like, well, aside from all these splotches, but it's all concaved and warped and stuff. So, but I mean, it's salvageable. This is a little kitchen area. I can fix most of this. I just need some TLC here. But then anyway, you got a little staircase that goes up here, and then this is the upstairs. As you can see, that's starting to fall apart too. But so far this other side is fine. So it's somehow the water got in here, and that's kind of creating an issue. So, but that's gonna be my next project. Okay, welcome back to the underground lair. This is day 92. We're gonna get rid of day 92. We're gonna move on to tomorrow will be day 93. I'm gonna chuck day 92. I'll see you tomorrow for day 93. That is all. Hey everyone, you've seen the process. Now you can check out the story. Issues 1 through 3 of Young and the Dead are available at my website at serkworks.com. Also follow me on social media at the links listed below. Subscribe and check out some of the other videos in this series. There's much more to come.